Warning! The Stone Age Gamer podcast includes a lot of bad language. Cover your motherfucking ears.
Good evening and welcome to the Stone Age Gamer podcast. I'm Kris Randazzo and joining me tonight is Mario-themed edutainment, Dan Ryan.
Fun with numbers. That's me.
Yeah, that is you. I often say to myself, good old Dan, fun with numbers, Ryan.
Super fun. Super fun with numbers.
June has come to a close, and thus we return to the 10, 20, 30, 40, where we look back at notable game releases from decades past. Does anyone remember that weird Spyro Crash Bandicoot crossover on Game Boy Advance? Don't let your ass get 6 months overdue, because the Stone Age Gamer podcast starts now. Hello everyone, this is episode 521. It's the week of July 5th, 2024, and welcome. For anyone new here, this is the official podcast of StoneAgeGamer.com. Dan and I talk every week about what's happening in the world of video games from retro gamers' perspective, as well as whatever the heck else is going on in our lives. And speaking of which, Dan, how are you?
Oh, it's been a week, Kris. It's been a very long
7 days.
It's been a very, very long, mentally exhausting week. So Monday morning, I went and got my biopsy done, right? That's the next step in finding out just exactly what type of cancer I have and what the treatment's going to be, like prognosis, all of that good stuff. So I went, and it's not that it wasn't like real before, you know, but when you're sitting, like when you go to the hospital to have a procedure done, you know, and you put on the gown and they gave me the cap and like they're talking about, they're wheeling me back and like, you're going to get this injection here. And it's, you know, we're going to go in and we're going to do the fine needle aspirate. So what they did, you know, I go back into the room, like the dude fucking wheels me back. I was like, I can walk, you know, like it's okay. I can walk back. We don't have to do all this. But we go back and the dude like scrubs me up like with the alcohol on my nest, on my nest and my cheek, on my neck and my chest. And he's like, oh, I hope we don't have to shave the beard. And I was like, you're not allowed. So fuck off.
I will let you shave my balls before you shave my beard.
Oh, feel free. You know, please help a brother out. There's some hard to reach areas.
Save me some time.
Yeah, right. So they're coming in, and like the doctor comes in, and they inject you with some numbing stuff, you know, in your neck, and if that's where you're having the biopsy. And they go in with a needle and they take out, you know, some stuff from the lymph nodes that are in there. And they're going in and they, you know, he pokes around a couple times and he comes back, like leaves the room. They're like, oh, we're going to check, you know, make sure we got everything we need. We usually come back in and do a couple more anyway, just in case. I was like, all right, so why don't you just say, well, I'm going to leave this room for 5 minutes and then I'm going to come back and do it again. Like, just say that part. Don't do the like, maybe we won't. Because 5 minutes later, he came back in. He's like, all right, we're going to do 2 more needles full. So they did a total of five syringes on Monday morning. And the nurse that I talked to, as she was prepping me, she was like, you should have your results in 5 to 7 days. And then the doctor was like, you should have your results in 4 to 5 days. And then after I was all done, the nurse was like, you should have your results in 3 to 5 days. And I was like, all right, well, I heard 5 days the most. So I'm going with 5 days.
Did it keep going down? Did I follow that correctly?
It did. Yeah, it got better. It got better as we went along. And I was like, all right, well, fine. So, you know, I'm sitting here and the whole week, I'm like, I know they said 3 to 5 days. But I'm just obsessively checking my phone and my email because I have the MyChart app or whatever. When you go to the hospital or when you go to your doctor's office, you can get this app. It's called MyChart, and they upload your results and all that shit.
It's basically like the Domino's pizza thing, except for your health.
Yeah, basically. So I'm obsessively checking, right? And just checking. And then, so I knew I wasn't going to get anything Monday. And then Tuesday, I was like, well, I'm definitely not going to get anything Tuesday. But Wednesday, maybe. She said 3 to 5 days. So that's what's in my head. And I'm like, well, this is like kind of 3 days later because my procedure was real early in the morning on Monday. So just constant, nothing. Just nothing. So finally, about 2:00 today, they were recording. I called my doctor's office and I was like, "Hey, so when I went and had this procedure on Monday, they said that they weren't sure if the results get released right away or if the doctor has to check them first or if some things get released and then the doctor has to check others." I was like, can you just tell me, like what's going on? Do you guys have the results yet? And the lady that I'm talking to, she's like, yeah, we have all 3. I will let the doctor know that they're here. We just got them today. So I'll let her know that they're here to look them over and release them to you because I can't just release them to you. The doctor has to. So, okay, fine. So I call up Tiff and I'm like, all right. So the doctor's office has the results and she was like, come get me from work. We're going to get them. So, okay, sure. So we drive over to the doctor's office and come to find out that my doctor is off today and she is not working until Monday. The doctor's office. It's just a family practice, so they're closed on the weekends. And I'm like, all right, well, just print them up for me. Let me have them. And the dude goes, oh, I'm sorry, I can't do that. And I was like, what? And meanwhile, Tiff is next to me and she's ready to explode. You know what I mean? She's like,
right.
These are his results. We need these we're not going all weekend without the results. And it's like, yeah, I know, but we can't release them to you until the doctor signs off on it. And Tiff's like, well, call her. Guy's like, well, it's her day off. And she went, I don't care. Call her anyway. He's like, well, we don't have her personal phone number. And she went, oh, okay. All right. We're going to the hospital. So we leave the office. I'm like, I'm sorry for my crazy wife who just wants to, protect me because she's very much in mama bear mode right now. So we drive over to the hospital. I walk up to the lady and I'm like, my testing was done. The results they're in. I would like to have them. She goes, yeah, I don't give a fuck. Which is basically, that was basically her attitude. She didn't come right out and say, I don't give a fuck. But she was like, yeah, okay. Now. Well, it was in Camden. So, there is every possibility. But she very much had the attitude. She was like, you are lucky you got here on time because we close at 4:30, but I leave at 4:23 to make sure I'm on the bus back into Philly. And I was like, I don't give a fuck about your life. I mean, I don't want to keep you from getting back to Philly, but it's kind of important for me. I'll sign whatever you got to sign. Here's my ID. Just print my shit up. So she was like, cool, no problem. Prints my shit up. And, Tiff and I go out in the car and we start reading it. And lo and behold, the sample that was taken on Monday is not good enough to determine exactly the type. So what'll have to happen next is that I will have to talk to my doctor on Monday and then schedule a biopsy removal where I'll have to be put under, and then they will go in probably to the same ones that are here on my neck, and they will just take it out. And then they will biopsy that so that they can find out exactly what type of cancer it is and then what the treatment is going forward. How long that is going to take from this point, I have no idea. And I just find the entire process to be increasingly frustrating and just endlessly maddening,
Yeah.
It's just, it's like, all right, guys, and I know I can't start treatment until we know what we're treating, but at the same time, there's something fucking wrong, man. Like, there's something very wrong, and every day that goes by is an opportunity for it to continue to grow. The bad news from the results that they were able to test is that it appears, again, none of this is definitive. I don't have any definitive answers, which is just, again, endlessly maddening. That we're here, a month in, and I don't have an answer yet. But it appears the findings of what they were able to test, that it is non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, which means that the cells, there's something wrong with the cells that are reproducing. So, like, the way I understand it with Hodgkin's lymphoma, it's a little bit easier to treat. Not that it's easy to treat, but easier to treat, because in Hodgkin's lymphoma, the cells are simply multiplying way too quickly. And there's just too fucking many of them. In non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, the cells that are multiplying are not correct. There's something wrong with them. That doesn't mean anything other than it's just a different type of treatment, and it's a little bit harder to deal with and kind of pinpoint. So I was like, man, I don't know if I feel better or worse, getting the information today. I don't know that it would have made any difference to not have this. I mean, it probably would have, because the hardest part is the mental aspect of it. Because this week, as you can imagine, I have done nothing but stare into the void. And I know everybody I talk to is like, you can't be like that. You gotta do a project. You gotta do a thing. And I was like, all right, fine. I will start dusting and reorganizing the action figures. That's what I'm going to do. And I'll build a couple of risers. But even that, that's what I've done this week. I've dusted and sat here in the office just kind of staring off into space without having any sort of answer, because just trying to focus on literally anything else is a task I find impossible at the moment.
Yeah, I imagine that's not the easiest thing to go through.
It just sucks, man.
It's trying to find any way to focus on anything other than, what's currently killing me is...
yeah, not to put too fine a point on it, but there's something fucking wrong, Like, there's something wrong with all of us at any given time, sure. But, like, this is right in my fucking face, and I just need things to be moving a little bit quicker. And, like, it broke my heart, man, because I'm sitting there, and again, like, the attitude that I've maintained this entire time is that, like, I am ready for whatever fight is coming up. If I have to be hospitalized, if whatever the fuck is going to happen, let's fucking go. Like, let's do it. Let's get it going. I want my life to go back to as normal as it can be as quickly as possible. That's where my head's at. I'm going to see my kids graduate from high school. I'm going to walk them down the aisle if they decide to get married. I'm going to be an old man still trying to touch Tiff's butt. Like that's where I'm at. And fine. But I'm sitting there Monday morning, and I mean,
it's like when the kids are getting ready to go back to school. Like, in a week, they're going to go back to school, which means everything changes in a week. Now, I know everything's going to change in a week, but this week, nothing's changed yet. So you're just
Right.
sitting there in this limbo, like, I know things are going to change, and I am ready to start adjusting to that change, but the rest, like, the change hasn't happened yet. So you have to sit there and, like, in this weird limbo spot of, like, I am ready to figure out what I need to do, but I can't do anything about it
But I
yet.
can't do anything about it.
I just have to sit here and wait for time to happen. Whereas if the thing would just happen, then this time would not feel like it's being wasted.
And it does. Like, it feels like it's being wasted. And like, and it's also, like I'm sitting there Monday and I'm waiting to go back for the biopsy. And there's a couple people that are my age and there's some older people there. Then there was like a fucking 7-month-old kid, 8 months, something, like a fucking little kid, man. And I'm looking at that and I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, I'll do it. I'll do the fight. Don't make that little kid do the fight. That's not, like, fuck, man. Let me do it.
Yeah.
I'll do it. I certainly don't want to do it. I don't want to be in the fucking hospital, and going through all that shit and whatever. Like, I will if that's what I have to do, to get through it. But like, this fucking 7-month-old baby, man. Like, what is how is that fucking fair? How does that make any sense at all?
It doesn't.
It's not, and it doesn't. It's not, and it doesn't. It's just, yeah. It's like, you gotta be kidding me, man. So like,
Ellie has 2 friends that are cancer survivors. Ellie.
That's crazy. Like, I saw a statistic this week that if you are alive on this planet, your chances of getting cancer on average are 40%. Some type of cancer. 40%, just everybody has a flat 40% chance. And as you get older, that number goes up significantly. And it's like, dude, that's just shit ain't right. It's just not right. And I know, like, I know I'm not going through this alone. I talked to my buddy from college. I talked to Mike earlier. He's got some things going on that he's fighting through, and I'm positive we have other listeners that have family members and friends and whatever themselves that are going through shit. And man, it's real fucking kick in the teeth of like you said, I know my entire life is about to get very, very different here in a couple weeks. And I mean, I hope it's a couple weeks. I hope it's not another month or whatever. Because then I got to start thinking about short-term disability at work and how I'm going to navigate all of that. And that's just not something that I want to fucking deal with, on top of dealing with this and bills and all of those other things. And it's been a mentally fucking exhausting week, Kris.
I hear you.
I've done a lot of dusting. A lot of dusting. Which has been kind of nice to like go
dusting.
through the... it's kind of nice to go through the collection and kind of put your hands on everything, because there's so much stuff that I've got out here in the executive annex, and so much of it, you put it up and it's up. That's where it goes. Don't touch it again. Like, these things I don't play with my toys, not, that sounded very judgmental and I don't mean it that way, but yeah, that's just not what I do. I know a lot of people they do like action figure photography, build dioramas and all that stuff. I don't fucking do any of that shit. I put it up and it sits there and I look at it and I go, yes, behold my stuff. And I love my stuff, and I rearranged a little bit, and I built a couple risers, and then... But that's what I have the mental capacity for. That, and, I mean, I watched The Acolyte. I didn't watch The Boys yet. Acolyte was great.
I never in my wildest dreams did I imagine that Jason Mendoza from The Good Place would be such a compelling villain.
Spoilers. You know.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. Like, it was the most obvious thing. It was so obvious, I thought it was red herring. And, like, once I saw who it was, I was a little disappointed. And then I didn't care because of the shit he was saying. Like, damn, he was wielding some points.
Yeah, he nailed it.
She was just a child. You brought her here.
Yeah, you dick.
Why risk discovery? Well, I did wear a mask.
It was really good. I enjoyed the shit out of it.
A mask that he was able to headbutt lightsabers with. That shit was fucking awesome. The fight choreography in that episode was
really good.
Out goddamn standing.
It was really, really good. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Not for nothing. That's it. That dude's arms are pretty fucking sexy.
They're pretty jacked. My arms don't look like that.
He looks pretty goddamn good.
Yeah. It does.
Yeah, that episode was great.
It was a much better episode than the season finale of Doctor Who.
Oh boy.
Because we did watch that, and that I was actually able to focus on because that happened the week, like the Monday before.
Right.
I went and got the biopsy, or the Friday before I went and got the biopsy. So like, I was still able to like kind of focus on things, and oh boy.
I mean, like, there was that one point where, and I immediately thought of you because, like, they were talking about the distance of where the perception filter on the TARDIS, and she said the exact number, and he was like, "How do you know that?" She's like, "I don't know. I just know that." I was like, they're bringing it in. They're making that episode make sense. Never mind.
Nope.
That was it. It's like you. And on one hand, I'm like, all right, clearly Mr. Davies has not forgotten about it. So, and clearly he's got plans for the next season because there's that other old lady, right? There's this whole through line
Mrs. Flood.
Shit. Yeah, we're not done yet, but at the same time, I would have really appreciated you wrapping some more shit up.
Yeah. Then having to wait until 2025 to...
Yeah. Well, there's a Christmas
it wasn't
special,
good.
So
it just wasn't good.
There were things I did like about it. I really liked the image of Sutek wrapped around the TARDIS. I thought that was just a really cool look. I thought that was really neat.
It was cool. It becomes less cool if you think about the idea that he's been there for a very, very long time. So, like, when Captain Jack is hanging off the side of the TARDIS, he's kicking Sutek in the face as they're flapping through the time vortex.
Yeah, don't think about that. No.
As the angels are shaking the TARDIS in the first appearance of the Weeping Angels, like not one of the angels was like, ugh, this feels like a demon. You know? Like, it was fucking grabbing him and shaking him around. There's some inherent goofiness in Sutek and like all of that kind of stuff that if the rest of it had been good, I could ignore. But I just, why does it snow?
Yeah, why does it snow? Like, I get it. Her mom was nobody, and that's what's important. But it's not important. But you were right there. Like, look. It's
why
closer.
Did she point? The pointing? Fucking stupid. That was dumb. That was
it is closer to what I want out of Doctor Who than it's been for a long time. But just because you walked right up next to it and, like, poked it, like, you're not quite there yet. Maybe it'll get there. Maybe next season shit'll start really coming together. Maybe he's just, knocking the rust off or whatever. Because
I hope so.
This was more fun to watch than Doctor Who has been in a while. And
I did watch all of it.
Exactly. You watched all of it.
I've gotten to the same point in Jodie's season like 3 times as I've attempted to watch it. Because if I'm going to watch it, I'm watching the whole thing, and I get like 3 or 4 episodes in, and I go, no, I just can't. I can't.
Yeah, like
I dip out.
I liked episodes in this season. I liked a lot of things about this season. I think all of your concerns are extremely valid, and I feel the same way. But it never felt like a chore to watch, and that's fair. A very big step forward. It's not where we need to be, but it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, what I said to Tiff, like after we got done watching it, I was like, man, I really, and maybe it'll never happen again, but I want to love Doctor Who instead of like it. I like it. I used to love it, Same here. And I want to love it again. But anyway, that's been my week, Chris. It's been I feel like the next couple of weeks are going to be like this one, if not demonstrably worse. Just way, way worse. And there may be some time here. Because I don't know. Like, I'm going to start treatment here at some point. And I don't know how I'm going to be. I don't know if I'm going to be available to record. Like,
we won't burn that bridge when we get there.
No, I know. But like, so much of it is uncertain. And it's the Tom Petty song, man. Like, the fucking waiting is the hardest part.
It is.
And do all the other shit, man. I think.
Well, we'll find out.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not very young, and I'm not very old. I'm kind of right in the sweet spot to be able to, because like you start going down the fucking rabbit hole of like, well, it could be B cell, it could be T cell. It's Hodgkin's, it could be non-Hodgkin's, it could be all these different things. Maybe it's a super rare type that nobody's ever seen before, because wouldn't that be fucking special?
Maybe you're pregnant.
Maybe I'm pregnant. It's definitely not that. So it's like you start going down that rabbit hole and then like looking at the survivability rate and like, the 1 year survivability rate and the 5 year and then the 10 year, and like all of those numbers are skewed by the very young and the very old. So it's like, well, it's like 82% for some of them, and it's like 30% for some of them, and it's like, yeah, take all those numbers with a grain of salt, but I have nothing else to do but look at that shit. Or stare off into nothingness and dust. So I guess I'll keep dusting. How was your week?
It's okay. The big pop just went off. It wasn't very big, and I only got it on 3 devices because I was stuck in fucking free spins, which I earned $1.10 out of. It does suck. No. Now I'm a little under because I was stuck in damn free spins. Rats. I mean, I won like $1 and change out of it, but the other ones was $21. What was it at? Let's see here. The prize was. Oh, now you're just going to be 8 butts on a butt boat, aren't you? Come on, bring it back. It was like $21 or something. Anyways, yeah, no, I'm okay. I'm all right.
Yeah,
it was $27.30. So. I don't know why there it is. All right, yeah, continue. My the desktop is not giving it to me for some reason. It keeps doing this like you weren't a winner, try again nonsense. And usually if you just refresh and click on it a bunch of times, it'll pop itself back into position at some point. But anyways, my goal of having extra money in my bank account because we poor as fuck continues to be a
challenge.
A challenge, yeah.
Let's go with challenge.
Just come on. Taking advantage of gambling, please cooperate with me. Give me my free money that I work almost not at all to get. So I can put these stupid tablets away. These Samsung Galaxy tablets just continue to be awful.
The worst.
They're just dreadful. I don't know how you fuck something like that up so remarkably bad, but
you put Android on it.
Yeah, you do. Oh my god.
Android is a terrible operating system.
Oh, my ass hurts already. It's 9:53. My butt already hurts. Like, Come on now.
It's not a great sign.
Not a great sign. Not a great sign of things to come.
No.
I'm just going to leave this here and hope that it shows up, because there's no reason I shouldn't have won on this account. And yet here I am, not getting my prize. Boy, I'm Gambler. Gambler isn't being fond of me tonight. He's not being good to me this evening, and I'm not okay with that. Whatever. All right. What the hell have I been up to? I had a birthday. I had a birthday. That was fun. I had a birthday party, and people came over, and it was fun. It was nice. They talked. They hung out. They drank. They left way too much alcohol behind. we have so much beer in this house right now. It's really absurd. But no, it was a good time. I got some cool artwork of was like patents. There it is. There's my 2734. Thank you very much, BetMGM. And now I can ignore Gambler for the rest of the night. So I got this. Actually, it's right behind me. Hold on 1 second. Let me get it. Hold on.
Okay.
Stay with me here.
I'm with you.
Okay, so this is what's that? Okay, it's like the patents, like the patent drawings for the Atari 2600 joystick. Let's see, this one is U.S. patent March 25th, 1980. So this must have been a revision of the joystick. The U.S. patent drawings for the Game Boy. February 9th, 1993. A U.S. patent for an arcade cabinet. It says Figure 1. I can't tell what cabinet this is supposed to be. This is from August 8th, 1978. I'm curious what this actually is for. And then there's the patent for the Nintendo 64 controller. This one I really like because this has the super wide analog stick that if you look at the like early prototypes of the N64 controller they have. So that's pretty cool to see. They're really nice, and they're printed on this like, distressed paper, like brownish paper kind of look. I definitely would get these framed and hang them up somewhere. They are pretty darn rad. Another friend of mine got me a Chipotle gift card.
Very nice.
The gift of burritos. So fuck yes.
Can't be mad at that.
Really can't be mad at that. I ate a lot of good food. I went to Cheeto Burrito earlier in the week. I had, bratwurst on the grill. Just last night I did my annual Red Lobster visit, because Red Lobster is in fact still open. And I got the ultimate feast, and I ate way too much food, and it was fucking delicious. Oh my God, it was so good. I love crab so much. I fucking love crab.
You got to come up here. We got this place we went to over the weekend called the Umi Hot Pot and Seafood Buffet. And, they had sushi, sashimi, whelk. The fucking kids ate whelk, which is, this is a whole fucking thing. Crab legs, lobster, like all types of shit. And it's expensive. But you get your money's worth.
It's pricey.
You get your money's worth. Yeah.
I also got, not related to my birthday, I got in the mail my new Atari 2600 paddles. Finally showed up in the mail. I ordered those back in February, I think.
Something like that. Yeah.
I haven't tried them out yet because I've been busy. With my other today, I spent building my other birthday present, my wood-burning outdoor pizza oven that my sister-in-law got for me. And it is so considerably smaller than I expected.
Sure.
What I do, the pizza dough recipe that I got from my mom makes 4, and I did the math. I mathed it down to 3. So I make 3 pies every week. And I got together the 3 doughs, and then I went outside to build the pizza oven. And that's when I realized that this thing is fucking tiny. So I was like, well, I'm not going to try to squish this dough back together and divvy this up into like 4 pies. So each one, instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to do each one of these as 2. I'm just going to cut these in half and make 6 smaller pies. But I have this like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not chain of command. It's like a assembly line. Yeah, I got my assembly line. You have a process. I have a process figured out that I can get these done pretty quickly in either an oven or on my grill. But because none of my old equipment is compatible with this tiny little oven, it took so long to get everything done because now I only have the peel that came with it that'll fit in to get the pizzas out. And I can't reach in there. And so what I do is I make the pizza, I stretch the dough, and then I put the dough on the peel, and that's when I add all the, the cheese, the sauce, whatever toppings I'm going to put on when it's on the peel. And then I take
like
the
a
pizza
real
out,
Italian.
Exactamundo. And then I take that, I put that pizza in, and then I take the peel back and get working on the next pizza. And then when it's ready to take the pizza out of either the grill or the oven, I just go with a pan, my pizza pan, and I just reach in and grab the pizza with my hand and put it on there because, I don't know, it's how my mom did. That's how Dad did it. That's how America does it. And it's worked out pretty well so far. Yeah. Well, you just grab the crust. Yeah, it's hot. I burn myself a handful of times, but whatever, you get used to it. And I just get that on the pan, and I put the peel in, and I'm ready, and I just keep going. But this had this dinky little metal peel. And on one hand, the dough comes off of it nice and easily. It's a little bit easier than the wood one. Sure. But at the same time, the cooked pizza slides off it way too easily, whereas it would be really easy to quickly drop this on my patio and that pizza's now dead. So,
that pizza's now Hoppers.
That's true. Very true.
I mean,
the other problem with the
worst thing in the
peel
world
is, and I don't understand why it's like this, is that the handle is collapsible, like it folds in, and that means that the whole thing is super fucking rickety. And like, no, I need that handle to be super sturdy because I don't want this thing bending and bouncing when I'm trying to do stuff with this pizza. Like this just, it's not working for me. But so I did the first one. I put three logs in there. I had to go to ShopRite to get new logs because all of my firewood is too fucking big. I had no firewood that would fit in the oven. So I go
nor an axe with which to smash it.
The thing about the axe would be that the best I could do was split it. I would need a chainsaw to shorten it. Like I can make I can make them thinner, but they're all too long. There's just no way that's going to work out in the way that I want it to. So I go to ShopRite and I get a bag of short firewood that all fits in there perfectly. And the first pie is a disaster. The first pie, I let the wood burn for a little while, and I'm like, all right, I'm hungry, let's get this started. And it creates so much smoke, the dough turned gray, and then the bottom of the pie was just charred to death. It was just absolute black death on the bottom of it because it got too hot, and the fire hadn't turned the wood into like coal quite yet.
Right.
So once I got that temperature regulated, I was able to make like a bunch of really decent pies. Now I will say this, I'm really fond of the way it cooks the crust. The crust came out so much softer and crispier on the outside than it usually does when I do it on either the grill or in the oven. So that was a really big boon for me personally. I thought the crust came out great. I need different equipment, and I'm considering putting charcoals in there. Or maybe like doing some coals and then putting just a handful of charcoal briquettes, light those up, and then put some firewood on top of that. Like just 1 or 2 logs. Because I feel like just burning the logs, it was harder to regulate the temperature because by the time the last pie came around, it had to be in there for like 15 minutes before it was done. I didn't want to throw a whole other log in there because that would again, while the pizza's cooking, that's going to generate so much more heat. It's going to generate ash, and it's going to generate smoke, so it's going to discolor all the crust again, right? So I clearly have a lot to learn about this thing. It also, it was supposed to come with a cover, but instead it came with 2 oven mitts that had coffee all over them, like coffee prints. Like, clearly this did not belong in this box because it's these 2 oven mitts that are like coffee, Java, like it's just all decorated to top to bottom with coffee stuff. Like, what the fuck is this? And where's my cover? Because I don't want this thing to rust out and be destroyed.
No.
I want to get good with it. Also, the handles are garbage. The instructions showed kind of different-ish parts for the handles, and screwing these things on there, like all the metal is bending. I can tell what they were going for, and what they were going for, these pieces don't do that. So, like, at one point, I needed to open the bottom where the logs go, and this little metal notch that you turn a handle and the metal notch locks it. It stayed locked. So I'm spinning the handle around. It's like, well, now I can't get this open. I'm trying to, like, turn it around and try to get the screw to, like, latch onto it again somehow. And I don't know, man. It's almost outstanding. I think I will get it there, but it was so much more work to get that done tonight. And nobody seemed to care. Like, nobody was like, wow, this pizza's really good tonight. Like, nobody said a fucking thing. So, like,
it was just...
Was this worth all the extra effort?
I
don't know. I'll keep
Can't tell you.
I also made my own sauce. That was cool. I finally got around to making my own pizza sauce. I usually use a canned Cento pizza sauce, which is fucking delicious.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. But my plan was to have BLTs for lunch this week. And that I had like 2, right? Because my lunch plans kept getting screwed up all week long. But I had these really big, gorgeous, delicious Lancaster tomatoes. Now, I like Jersey tomatoes, but they're not quite in season yet. But the farm stand near me, they get these ones from Lancaster, PA, that are almost as good as Jersey's. Like, they're really, really good. So I picked up a bunch of these Lancaster tomatoes. They're fucking humongous and gorgeous and delicious. And I was like, I need to do something with these. And we didn't really want to do a pie that was tomato slices this week. Like, neither of us were really in the mood for that. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna make my own pizza sauce. And so I looked up a couple recipes, and they're like, you can do all this shit, or you can try to do this shit. I'm like, I don't like any of these. I'm gonna wing it. So bust out the blender. I chopped the tomatoes up. I put them all in there, skins and all, and a little olive oil, some salt and pepper. I go out to the garden. I grab some parsley and oregano and basil. And I just throw all that shit in the blender. Blend it up real nice. Then I go into the pan. I mince like 3 cloves of garlic. Like 4. Yeah, 4. It was 4 cloves of garlic. I kind of not quite browned it. I just kind of like cooked it a little bit in about, I want to say 2 tablespoons of olive oil, a little bit of salt and pepper too. I got that cooking down, before the garlic started to brown, because garlic browns super quick. And then I poured all the stuff that I blendered in there, and it was like super watery. And I was like, all right, I'm going to walk Hopper. You just pay attention to this so it doesn't burn. This needs to reduce like crazy. So when I came back, it had reduced really well. I threw that back in the blender, smoothed it up a bit, and it was fucking delicious.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So like, yes, I completely immersed my first pie in this new pizza oven, but I did make a really tasty pizza sauce, and I was very happy about that. I can't wait till Jerseys are here. I can't wait. I hope that my garden can grow some, because my garden tomatoes are like, my tomato plants are maybe like 3 inches now. Not looking great, but who knows? Maybe it'll start raining soon. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know what it's like by you, but out here, everyone's lawn is just fried, crunchy brown sadness.
Yep.
Because we've had
just
like no
brown.
rain. Just brown
in
sadness.
months. It feels like, and it feels like it did nothing but rain, and now it's just like, no, you got it all. You got it all.
Right,
you're done now.
I got a plan for mowing my lawn. I'm doing yard work all the time. I ain't done shit in the yard. Nothing's growing. It's just out there dying. I did, and this is actually going to lead into something semi-video game related, because I really didn't do much gaming this week. I did a couple of levels of Super Mega Zero. I hadn't played that in a while. That game is really, really good. Played a little bit more Zero Mission. I finished Mega Man 4 in the Game Boy games. I haven't started 5 yet. I got a review code for the new Flynn's Arcade game that I now can't remember the name of. I haven't tried it yet. I just haven't had the time. But we did have... Ellie had a friend over, and then the neighbor girls came over too. And the whole thing was... so at... I think it was my birthday party. Yeah, at my birthday party, my friend Paul brought... Last year, he did what he called Crazy Paul's Discount Water Park in his backyard.
Okay.
Where he's got a bunch of like dinky, like water play things, like a little archway that's a shark that shoots water out of it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
he
was his kid's done with that stuff. So he brought all that stuff over here, and the kids all had a fucking ball with it. Like, they were out there having a ton of fun during my birthday party, and playing with water stuff in the backyard. Got the hose out, they're all going nuts. Good times were had by all. But then Paul left it here. He's like, my kid's done with this, so you can have this silly palm tree thing, and this shark archway. And then I was at BJ's, and I picked up a new slip and slide for $18. Like, I got a pretty decent situation going on right there, right? So Ellie had her friend over, and the neighbors came over, and we're like, all right, we're going to do some water play today. And I set up a sprinkler. I have one of those hose diverters, so now I can hook 2 hoses up to one thing, so I can have 3 things cooking at the same time. I had a sprinkler, I had the kiddie pool that was all full, and I had this new slip and slide, and I had the shark archway like in front of the slip and slide that's shooting water everywhere. And they're all having a good time with this. But one of the things that my kids like to do is I went to the house and I got this clamp, and I would just grab the hose and I would put it on the playground and make the slide into a water slide. And the kids thought that was super fun. And they were like, Dad, go get the clamp and let's make a water slide. And I was like, all right, sure, let's do that. What are we turning off to do that? And they're like, I don't turn off the sprinkler. So I undid the sprinkler and I set up the hose on the water slide. I'm watching the kids play. They're all having a good time. Kids are going down the water slide. And kids are playing on and then kids are also going through the shark and going on the slip and slide. And I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, it's probably a bad idea. It's probably dangerous, but it would be pretty cool if I put the slip and slide and the shark at the bottom of the slide. So they could slide down the slide onto the slip and slide and into the little pool that's at the end of the slip and slide. So I asked the kids if they wanted to do that. They're like, yes! So I made that shit happen. I took all the things apart. I moved the whole slip and slide, rotated it 90 degrees, put it at the end of this thing, and they were like a solid hour of them just going down this slide and landing. There's like the slide on the playground doesn't like go straight to the ground. It's like almost a foot off the ground. So they would just go down this slide and then bump. They just like be airborne for a second and then bump onto the slip and slide. And they didn't give a shit. They'd knock the wind out of them, they'd get up and run back up there and do it again. And they kept at it for like at least a solid hour. Like, it was a couple hours of water play in the backyard. So much so that when I finally cleaned up the slip and slide at the end of the night, there's now a divot in the yard where an actual noticeable trench from where they kept landing at the end of the slide.
That's awesome.
Well, I'm going to have to deal with that later. But this is where it actually ties into video games. So, John and Ellie have been obsessed with Among Us for the last week. Just totally dove right back into Among Us. I feel like it came from the Nintendo Direct. Like, they had that update, and something just clicked in John, and he was like, I need to play Among Us again. And this, like, boom, right back into Among Us, like, hardcore. So, John and Ellie both playing it like crazy. Now, the kids are inside, they had just had a bunch of snacks, and John's like, "Oh, let's all play Among Us," and they didn't have enough devices and stuff to have all the kids play Among Us. And then somebody had suggested, like, we should play like real life Among Us, and they started to talk about it for a second, and my initial reaction was just like, God, that sounds like work. And then I thought, wait a minute,
yeah,
I can do this. I can do this. Yeah, I can do this. You guys got to give me like 20 minutes and I will make live action Among Us happen. So what I did was there was 5 kids, right? There was 5 kids. So I got 5 pieces of paper and I went all around the house, like basement, John's room, Ellie's room, Karen's office, kitchen, bathrooms, like every single room. And I came up with tasks to complete, right? Like there's 4 bars of soap, stack up these bars of soap, fill up these 2 cups with water, put the crayons back in the crayon box, turn off these TVs. Like I made up 30 tasks, I think, all over the house. And then I took all these 5 sheets of paper and I randomly wrote down like 3 to 4 tasks on each one of these sheets of paper, right? And then I'd hold up the paper like cards, and each kid had to grab whichever paper they wanted, like just here, pick card, random card, and that would be their tasks that they would have to complete. And now, before the game started, after everyone grabs their tasks, I would whisper in everyone's ears if they were a crewmate or if they were an imposter. And so then they would run around the house, and they would have to complete their tasks, and one of them would be the imposter. And if the imposter like poked you in the back like they were stabbing you, then you had to fall down and wait for someone to find you. And if you had to call an emergency meeting, the kids would all scream like, "Emergency meeting!" So that wherever you are in the house, you could hear them. And this went on for like another hour. We played, God, we must have played like 7 or 8 games of this whole live action Among Us thing. And it wasn't perfect. I could definitely refine it for sure, but it was really fun. I was the living room was the meeting room. And they would all come here, and I had like a scorecard out, and they'd all have to discuss like who they thought was sus, and then they would all vote for who they thought the imposter was, and I would let them know if they were right or wrong, and then they would go back to doing their tasks, and it worked out really well. I was really proud of myself. And
That's
it
awesome.
really got me thinking, like, somebody should make that. That you could totally make that into a thing. That could be an actual board game, no question. You just have to have a box full of like really simple tasks for them to complete that would look like the tasks in the game, you know, like board gamey kind of cardboard things, and you hide them all over your house and make a buzzer or something for the emergency meetings, give everybody clipboards. Like, it worked, and they really had a good time doing it. I was really proud of that.
That's really awesome. That's really awesome.
It was such a fun day. I mean, it was exhausting because, you know, dadding that hard is exhausting. You know, setting up a water slide and giving them all this. God, the younger neighbor girl ate like 5 granola bars. She just kept coming back for more granola bars. Like, I'm taking another one of these. I'm like, you had 3 already. It's like, I want another one. I'm still hungry. I made like 3 boxes of mac and cheese, which they were like, yeah, we're going to eat all the mac and cheese. They ate like a box worth of mac and cheese. Of course. Throw out a whole bunch of mac and cheese. Whatever, mac and cheese is cheap. But still. It was fun. And it was just me, right? Karen was in the office that day. And it was one of those like play dates. It was one of Karen's friends' kids. I love this girl. Her name's Gwen. She's hilarious. Her and I have this rapport about like liking foods that the other one doesn't or something. Like, she always makes fun of me for how much I like tacos. I'm like, you're the sucker here, lady. Like, tacos are amazing. What are you talking about? Something about pickles too. Like, I don't know. She's just a goofball. She's a really fun kid. I like it when she's over here. And the neighbors, they've been really fun to have around, but they're gone for like 3 weeks. They're spending like 3 weeks in Florida with their dad, and Ellie's just kind of bummed because her next door neighbor friends are not there every day. So she's just like, John can occupy himself. Ellie just I'm bored. It's been 4 seconds, kid. You turned off screens 4 seconds ago. I'm bored. Figure
but she's
it
bored.
out. You've got 4 trillion toys in this house. Do something. Do a craft. Sing a song. Read a book. Do a cartwheel.
Figure something out.
I have to work. I have a job. Kids.
I have responsibilities. I have a life that doesn't just involve you.
And oh my God, when she wants to help me work, use that word very loosely. She like pulls up a chair and like, I want to type this in. Beep, beep, boop, boop. And you know, what's she going to mess up now? But her thing, she came next to me to work, was it yesterday? And I posted something about, it was Thursday. Right, so it was yesterday. I posted a Throwback Thursday. I like pick a random system and say, all right, what systems ads am I going to look for? And I wound up with ColecoVision. So I posted an ad for ColecoVision, and I was having her like drag and drop the image into the Twitter thing and, you know, copy paste things. But as soon as she looked at the image, she was just like, oh, wait a minute. So she goes and runs into my closet where she thinks my ColecoVision is. And she's like, you have one of these. I'm like, yes, I do. It's in here. I'm like, no, it's not. Yes, it is. I saw it. So she's rooting around in the closet, and I'm like, it's fucking not in there. It's like,
I told you.
I know you have one of those. And I'm like, come over here and stand on your chair, because it's right next to my desk. It's on the top shelf. And so she stood up there and she looked at it, and then she found the controller. And like, she loves this controller. I just, the alphanumeric keypad on that ColecoVision controller, she fucking loves. She's pretending it's great. A phone, and like she loves the right, because it's got the spiral cord, right? Those were super common when we were kids because phones had those, but she never sees spiral cords for anything. She's like, this is great. It's like a big spring and you can pull it and put it back. And so like the shelf I have next to my desk is, you know, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 consoles, right? It's the Coleco 2600, Odyssey 2, and Television and Channel F. And so like, she'll play with the ColecoVision. She stands on a chair. She's got the ColecoVision pretending that's a phone. Then she hangs up the phone. Then she starts typing on the keypad on the Odyssey 2 because there's a big keyboard on it. And then she starts like spinning the discs on the Intellivision around like they're dials and pushing the buttons on front of the Channel F. And it's like she's got this computerized imaginary office right next to my desk, so it's impossible for me to work. But at the same time, it's so cute because she's playing with all these old game systems. She's not playing games, but she just thinks the systems are neat and their controllers are neat because they are. They're crazy. So that's been fun. They're
really cool. Yeah, no, it's such a unique controller. You know,
it is.
Like it's just
she would probably
it's wild.
lose her mind if she actually tried to play with it. God, what was it?
Sure.
We're looking at some like Facebook reel before putting Ellie to bed of the original Smash Brothers, and she was like, "That is not Smash Brothers." I'm like, "Yes, it is. Why does it look like that?" Like, "Oh, it's a Nintendo 64 game." It's like, "Oh,
that's why it looks like garbage."
N64 games are ugly shit.
They are. Don't tell anybody though.
It's a secret. It's so ugly. They didn't have
the
to. The
internet seems to think they're attractive.
Sprite-based games on N64 were really cool. It was like 5 of them, but they were really cool. Sprite-based games in that generation, absolutely great.
Perfect.
I am 8-bit. Made my dreams come true by reissuing a bunch of their records this week. I pre-ordered 2, even though I really should not have because like money has been tight. But I dipped into my gambler. I dipped into my gambler funds for this. The first one that I absolutely had to have, they finally reissued Sayonara Wild Hearts. That record goes great for between $300 to $500 whenever it pops up on eBay, which is fucking insane to spend that much money on a record. That's nuts. And that's sells at that price.
I'm just buying it to say I have it.
Right. Or it's somebody paid it once and like, no, I will not sell this for less than a completely obscene amount of money. It drove me nuts. So they're reissuing that. It was $42, and they reissued a bunch of other ones. And the other one that I had to get was Donut County, because
that's really, really good shit.
That game's great, but that game's soundtrack is so goddamn good. I listen to that soundtrack all the time. It's really great for falling asleep to, because it's this really, really chill, cool. I don't know. I really don't even know how to describe it. It's just really freaking good, and it's such good background music. I adore that soundtrack, and just having it on vinyl it seemed important enough for me to pull the trigger on it, because that music is great. That game is great. I just need a new record player so that I can actually, listen to it when they finally show up. I want to have something to listen to them on, because my turntable is currently not functional, which makes me sad. I haven't listened to a record in like 2 weeks.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it does. And like John was getting all uppity with me, like, why do you need, like, you have it on the iPod, why do you need the record? I'm like, kids, you don't understand. First, you don't get off my lawn. Second off, I was trying to explain it to him. He doesn't get it, but I think Ellie kind of gets it. Ellie understands why records are cool, kind of, like, because you pick something out and you commit to listening to that. Yeah, I picked up this thing. I dropped the needle. It has a tactile feeling to it. It's like, that's just a different way of choosing to listen to music, and I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan
Me too.
So I think that about wraps it up for everything. I'm looking around, like, I feel like I'm forgetting something video gamey that happened this week, and I'm just drawing a blank. No, I played Shovel Knight Dig once or twice more.
Yeah. So I won't tell anybody.
Yeah, I haven't not had the time to dive into something, and there's stuff out there I really want to dive into. Like, I should play Thousand Year Door.
Sure.
I know I should play that game. I'm not motivated to do it, and I feel like I should be. But there's something about Paper Mario that never really grabbed me before.
It's just never clicked with you. Yeah.
Because the only one I've ever really tried to play is Stick or Star and the original N64 one. And it was the same thing with Mario and Luigi. Like, I know these are games that I would probably like if I spent the time to get into them, but I'm having a hard time being motivated to get into things. The game I want to play right now, like everything I want to play right now is older stuff. I really want to play that Rocket Knight collection. But I pre-ordered the physical version, and that's not here yet. I'm not going to buy the digital one, so I'm just I'm in this holding pattern of just waiting for the physical version to show up, and yeah. And I also just don't have it in me. Like, I've been so tired at the end of the night, like, playing anything that requires, real thought process. I'm just not in that headspace right now.
Yeah. That's kind of how it goes, though. Like, video games fucking, like, they ebb and flow. It's just... Yeah,
I'm enjoying, like, playing 5 minutes of something here and there. The Mega Man stuff's been great because, like, I've beaten all these before. I have a rewind button now. I've got nothing to prove, so I'm just going to fart around with it until I get it right. Playing Super Mega Zero the other night was also perfect. I'm glad I remembered that game exists, because there's so many goddamn Switch games. It's you fall into this pattern.
There's
like, oh shit,
quite a bit.
I was playing that. I was playing that game and I completely forgot about it. I got to get back to Turnip Boy because that was fun. I'd really like to see what other ridiculousness that game has in store. Yeah.
Right on.
All right, well, we should take ourselves a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to dive into some week-old news and talk about all the stuff that happened that's not related to not E3. You're listening to the Stone Age Gamer podcast from Geekade.com. Stick around. And now here's a quick look at what's new in the gratuitous rainbow spectrum at StoneAgeGamer.com.
First up, we're doing it, Kris, right now. First up. I already said first up.
Yeah.
So now we're doing it.
I'm just
Following
gonna do
the
it
latest
thirsty.
Nintendo.
I'll do it thirsty.
Yeah. It's fine, you thirsty bitch. Following the latest Nintendo Direct, it seems obvious that Nintendo plans to end the Switch era on a bang instead of a whimper. But even with its relatively stellar lineup by late system lifespan standards, which are official and have been checked in triplicate, there are still a handful of games that are conspicuously missing. The Nintendo Switch has been a haven for reinventions, re-releases, an outer haven even. But what obvious games have been left out in the... Shut up. Out in the cold. Find out, and the Switch still has a few gaps to fill. Somewhere. I don't know where, but find it. StoneAgeGamer.com? That's my assumption.
Well, no, so you didn't hear it because it's pre-recorded, but it says, now here's a quick look at what's new in the gratuitous Rainbow Spectrum at StoneAgeGamer.com. So the name of the article is, the Switch still has a few gaps to fill.
That's right.
I guess it doesn't come out, it doesn't come off that, I'm workshopping it. We'll get there. Next, with the announcement of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind game, it is safe to say that beat-em-ups are in a really good place right now. Toxic Crusaders and G.I. Joe are on the way. The Ninja Turtles just saw a huge success with Shredder's Revenge. So what's next? Biker mice from Mars? Tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills? I've put together a list of which... cannot believe that show is real. I've put together a list of which classic children's action properties I think would make for the best beat-em-ups. And no, I didn't put Street Sharks on my list. I probably should have. Those things are hideous. Anyway, if this sounds like a fun thought experiment to you, you should totally check out Cartoon Beat-em-ups, please. That's not what that's called. It's called More Cartoon Beat-em-ups, please. I'm going to even type it here. More Cartoon Beat-em-ups, please. That's another blog post in the gratuitous Rainbow Spectrum.
There you go. Finally, Chris, in the latest entry...
Finally.
Finally. The latest entry of the Nintendo report, we've reached the letter F. From Fire Emblem to F-Zero, Nintendo's got a number of interesting properties that start with that particular letter, and a shocking number of them, well, aren't doing so hot. What's the latest from everyone's favorite Wii game, Fling Smash? Oh, man. Boy, did I love Fling Smash.
Oh, boy.
How long?
Tell me about
how many episodes did we dedicate to Fling Smash? Spoilers, none. How long has it been since the last Fossil Fighters game? We'll find out in the Nintendo report. Fossils, Frogs, and Formula One.
For all this and more, be sure to check out the gratuitous Rainbow Spectrum under the blog section every Wednesday at StoneAgeGamer.com. We're back. We're back. We've returned.
I'm here.
You are here. I am here. I have water. Already drank half a glass of water. I drank like a gallon of water when I got back from Red Lobster last night because that place is so salty. So delicious.
Sure.
But anyway, it's time to talk about what's new at Stone Age Gamer. And Dan, I tell you, it's been a week. It's been an interesting week at Stone Age Gamer.
Let me hear it.
The Power-Based Minis have arrived.
Oh, thank God.
The wait is over. They're finally here.
You finally came and picked them up out of the garage. Took you a while.
They sent me a picture in our staff chat. I didn't notice it at first, and Andy said they needed to check in on me because I probably just fainted. But there they are. They're all stacked up. They're not in inventory yet. We haven't started selling them yet because we've had other things on our plates to keep us busy. But they are here.
Sure.
They finally got delivered. Huzzah. Power-Based Mini and Power-Based Mini FM finally back in stock at Stone Age Gamer. Good times. The only other big thing that happened, other than they've just been working really hard to get out the MemCard Pro 2 orders, which we had a friggin' ton of. But the Morph 4K went through a massive price drop. And this was an upscaler device that's sort of supposed to be competing with RetroTink in some way, shape, or form. It's modular, and people are still waiting on those modular units to come out. But the base Morph 4K went through a massive price drop. I have no idea how well they've been selling since. That's actually a really good question. I probably shouldn't say the answer on the show.
Probably not.
But I am gonna look it up. I'm gonna look at it because I'm very curious, like what's going on with the Morph 4K. Have we moved more items since? Let's see, Morph 4K view orders. I'm not going to tell you. This is great podcasting right here. View orders. And okay. Yeah, okay. We have sold some. I won't say how many, but we've sold some.
That's riveting.
You're welcome. And now, I mean, this is really only gonna, it can only go downhill from here, right? Because that's the top.
Yeah.
We got the Power Base Minis, Dan. We got the Power Base Minis.
Everything's great.
You can play Master System games on Sega Genesis with this adapter. You're welcome. But with that being said, it is time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everyone's favorite segment. Strap in for Week Old News. Welcome to Week Old News, where we talk about all the news that was new a week ago. And first up, we have... I didn't even read this article. I don't need to. Time Extension reports 30 years on, Capcom is still making, quote, millions from Van Damme's live-action Street Fighter movie. First off...
Of course they are. That movie's great.
That is Raul Julia's Street Fighter movie. Not Van Damme's. You do not give that man credit for that movie. That is Raul Julia, and I will not hear. I will not hear of anything else. But yeah, that's outstanding.
For me, it was a Tuesday.
It was a GSK on Twitter says a specific bit of info from Capcom's latest shareholder meeting is buzzing right now. The Van Damme Street Fighter movie continues to bring in tens of millions of yen per year. That is out-fucking-standing. That movie is a masterpiece. It is a
masterpiece.
It's so bad.
I feel is a bit strong.
Well, it's a masterpiece of schlock movie. Like, it is such a perfect storm of how not to do a Street Fighter movie that it wraps around to being... It just wraps around to being so much fun camp. Whereas, like, then you look at something like The Legend of Chun-Li, which is so bad it's legitimately uncomfortable to watch. And that's not this. Sorry, Reformat just posted in our Discord from the hard drive. Gamer with 4 games breaks record for largest PS5 collection.
Yeah. It do be like that sometimes.
It do. Alright, next up, Go Nintendo reports Atari and music production school Icon Collective announce Yar's Remix Contest. So you can get your remixes put into this new Yar's game through this contest, which is kind of neat. Alright, let's see. First
that one
place,
with
Grand
the girl
Prize winner.
running around?
Yeah.
That one? Okay.
Yeah. So let's see. Any evidence of plagiarism will result in immediate disqualification. Good.
As well it should.
What are you supposed to remix? That's what I want to know, because there's no Yar's music. The challenge is for amateur and professional producers to take music from the upcoming Yar's Rising soundtrack and put their own... Oh, okay. So the existing soundtrack, you make a remix of one of the new songs. So let's see. What are the prizes? First place, the grand prize winner will be featured in the Yar's Rising original soundtrack alongside dozens of other artists. Additional first place prizes include recognition on Atari and Icon social media channels, a Yar's Rising physical care package including a game code for the platform of their choice, and 1 month of weekly mentor sessions with an elite Icon instructor. Second place winner will receive special recognition on Atari and Icon, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it just, like, goes down from there. That's neat. I think that's really fun.
Yeah.
I still don't know what I think of this game.
Yeah, I don't either. I really don't.
Goon. I love Way Forward.
It's so different, though.
Yeah, something just doesn't look quite right about it. Speaking of something that doesn't look quite right, Go Nintendo reports, platformer Kiniku Neku Super Muscle Cat announced for Switch.
Yeah, that game looks so fucking Japanese.
It looks amazing.
It looks so Japanese.
It's why so it's about this, like, it's a bodybuilder that's also a cat. And now I know what you might be imagining, like, you know, big muscly cat, but no,
nope.
It's like a human dude bodybuilder striking poses, but the head is an anime cat.
Yeah. It's incredible.
It's incredible. The game looks absolutely nuts. You could also turn back into a normal cat to, like, climb up walls and do cat things. This looks insane in the best way possible. I have to have this game. I hope it is a fraction of as good as it looks, because it looks just my kind of crazy.
Yeah, it looks great.
So, like, at the end of the trailer, they have, like, the logo shows up, and these lines, like, "He saved me," "Human emotions," "Will they be okay?" "Where are you?" "I don't care," "Meow." I love this so much.
Yeah, it's pretty great. I'm pretty into it.
There's a dedicated meow button. Oh, yes. Yes, please. Pile on more of this insanity. Oh, boy. All right, let's see. Nintendo Life reports leaker Pyoro locks account after claiming their source works for Nintendo. Look, before the big Nintendo Direct, all the big leakers were 100% wrong.
Yeah.
It seems that Nintendo has figured out that the most of these leaks were coming from the, like, back-end postings on their website or something, people that found access to it. So they just didn't do that before this Nintendo Direct, and all those leakers didn't know shit. They were all wrong. And apparently the one of the leakers kind of exposed this Pyoro fellow, and, well, look, I hate leakers. All it does is bolster you, right? All it does is bolster you.
It doesn't help.
Oh no, hooray, you broke all the news a few hours before, or maybe a day before it happened, the way that these teams wanted to do this. But the developers want their game to be shown off in this way, right? They have entire teams dedicated to, this is an exciting way to announce this game, this is what we want to do. And you have the astounding level of disrespect for the people making the game. Be like, no, I'm gonna drop this shit on Twitter for my own clout. See, I know shit, and I'm gonna tell you. They're hiding it from you. Like, fuck you. This is their art, and they want to deliver it to you in the most exciting way possible, in the way that they want it to be exciting to you. And yes, it's a commercial for a thing that you're going to buy. But it can be more than one thing. It is also something that people work hard on. And these jackasses go out there and break this stuff for clout. Yeah, I don't know, it always bothers me.
Right. Yeah.
I like to see bad things happen to them from time to time. Fuck leakers.
Yeah, I agree entirely.
Push Square says, Beyond Good and Evil 2 is still in development, Ubisoft assures. Sure it is.
Okay.
According to the official Beyond Good and Evil Twitter account, yes.
No, I was going to say, just leave it there.
Yeah. I hope if it does resurface, that it looks nothing like what they showed off a fucking decade ago, or however long ago it is, because games have changed an awful lot since then. Nobody wants this kind of game anymore. And nobody ever wanted Beyond Good and Evil 2 to be like a looter shooter. Because that's not what it is.
Yeah. No, it's not.
Anyway, I hear the remake's really good. I'd like to replay that game. Now, speaking of remakes, this is more of a demake almost. Time Extension reports Minecraft is being ported to Dreamcast and GameCube. I can only imagine. This is, I mean, not officially. This is just a fan project.
I know, just why?
Probably just to see if they can do it. Absolute insanity.
Okay.
Like, cannot
That's
imagine. Hey, you know, it's like people who try to get Doom running on, like, everything. Doom running on my toaster. Just to kind of see what they can do. Completely nuts. Oh, yeah. Oh, yawning. Goodness. All right, I can do this. Stay awake. Come on. We got a whole lot of show left. What's next? What's next, Dan? What is next? This is not the way that's supposed to be. Don't you do that to me. I added the wrong thing. Okay, this is my favorite news of the week. Atari's anniversary celebration returns to Xbox with 39 new games this October. Sorry, this is coming from Pure Xbox. It's not just coming to Xbox, it's coming to everywhere that Atari 50 existed already. And it's getting a whole bunch of new stuff added to it. It's getting new timelines, the wider world of Atari, which includes 19 playable games and 8 video segments, takes a series of deep dives into stories from Atari history, showing how Atari continued to influence creators and fans over the decades. New interviews, vintage ads, historical artifacts, and more have all been researched and presented with Digital Eclipse's signature style. And our friend Leonard Herman is one of the people that has been interviewed for the game.
That's really awesome. He's a good dude.
Awesome. Yeah. Now the other timeline is the first console war, which includes 20 playable games and half dozen video segments, tells the story of the first major console war in the gaming industry between Atari 2600 and Mattel's Intellivision. Team of Digital Eclipse curates an exploration of the rivalry, including Mattel's quixotic decision to create games for the competing Atari 2600. I am fascinated by that. I cannot wait to see that segment. I'm curious if they're going to put any Intellivision games in it, because since Atari owns that brand,
since
now,
they own, yeah.
But it's a important part of Atari's history, and I just love that they're updating this game. I don't even care if it's paid DLC. I'll buy it. I love it.
Sure.
Sign me up. Favorite news of the week. It's that or the cat thing. Oh, boy. All right, let's see. Oh, no, this is a whole ass thing that's been happening this week that I don't understand at all. Kotaku reports, Dr. Disrespect admits to inappropriate messages with minor. I'm no fucking predator or pedophile. So apparently there's I don't know who this is. I've heard the name, but apparently there's some dude who wears like a fake mullet and handlebar mustache, and his entire online personality is being a dick, and people are surprised that he's a piece of shit.
I mean, who could have seen that coming?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a mystery. The story seems to be ongoing with him like admitting more and more wrongdoing, I think, as the days go by, and a lot of folks out there really, really simping for him and being like, "No, man, we need to see the texts. We need innocent until proven guilty on this dude. We're giving him every benefit of the doubt." I don't know. I don't see the draw.
Man, I don't know. Yeah. Like, you got caught, man. Like, you got caught. Stop with the other shit. Just stop. The more interesting thing to me is what you just said, though, about, like, people jumping to defend their chosen person when, like, it's fucking pretty clear. Like, it's pretty cut and dry.
Like, he admitted that he did stuff. Like, he was having sexy conversations with minors on the interwebs. Well, then.
Yeah, and there, as soon
That's enough
as,
for me.
like, if the phrase ever comes out of your mouth, well, in certain states, it wouldn't be legal. You've lost. You've lost. Like, there's a big difference between illegal and unethical, immoral even, not to be too Bible thumpy about it, but like there's a morality component there. There's an ethics component there that, like, look, have you ever met?
Dude's married too.
Well, yeah, sure. And that's a whole other issue, you know what I mean? But people cheat, and that's, I don't mean to sound so dismissive of that, but like that's a whole other thing. But like, you've met 16, 17, 18-year-olds. Even at 18, you're fucking dumb shit. You're dumb at 18. You don't know shit about shit.
And pull up your pants.
And pull up your pants, you fucking moron. What's wrong with you? Yeah, it's just it's wild to hear, because I've casually browsed through a couple of things because I'm curious. Like, who the fuck is this? I don't know who this person is. Like, and I saw some responses of like, oh, well, if it was in a different state, it wouldn't be illegal. It's like, nope, we're done here. Pack it up, guys. Going home.
Not the conversation we're having.
No.
Anyway, moving on. You know what's really fun? But I just realized just now, I have not heard
masturbation. Oh,
it's hysterical. No, I haven't heard the name Smushy Jeff in weeks. It just disappeared, huh? Good times.
I mean,
anyway,
I'm sure he'll do something crazy to be back.
Nintendo Life reports, Coder creates Super Mario 64 for the Game Boy Advance, and it's looking excellent. I disagree with the looking excellent part. I think it looks amazingly impressive. Like, this functionally exists on Game Boy Advance is absolute madness, but I wouldn't say it looks excellent. It looks like Super Mario 64 on a Game Boy Advance, which is...
That doesn't sound great.
Yeah, it doesn't look great either. But that doesn't make it any less impressive. And it is impressive. I am thoroughly impressed.
I'm impressed.
I'm outpressed. That should be the opposite of impressed. Actually, it shouldn't, because it's not impressed.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm working on staying awake. What the hell? I'm so tired. I just got so tired. Let's see. Pure Xbox. Oh, this is fun. Capcom announces new Dead Rising remaster, likely coming to Xbox Series X and S. DRDR,
That's
Dead
fun.
Rising Deluxe Remaster. I love Dead Rising. That game was great.
Yeah. The original fucking Mega Man costume you could put on. Sorry, skin.
I
believe that's
trying
the
to read the
official
text
term.
On a CRT. Because, my Xbox 360
not so great.
was not... What I had the original one before the HDMI out was added on it, right? Remember that? You had to get an adapter for HDMI?
Yeah, it was weird.
The text
Weird
is all
choice.
super tiny, and trying to read that shit on a CRT was impossible. But that's wonderful. Dead Rising's great. I like seeing this
that is
remaster
really cool.
of the original. I saw somebody post that Capcom should be like super authentic, and if this comes to Switch, it should be specifically a remaster of the Wii version.
That's a dickhead thing to say.
It is. I think that Wii version deserves way more credit than it gets. Like, yeah, it's a fraction of what Dead Rising is supposed to be. It shouldn't exist, but at the same time, it is such a flex that it does exist. That game is functional on Wii, and it shouldn't be.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, pretty impressive. Doesn't mean it's necessarily good. It's definitely impressive.
But it is definitely impressive.
Yeah, EVO 2024 is going to be gigantic, smashes record for most players in any esports event ever. Good lord.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love watching Evo. I love watching high-level fighting gameplay. I'll never be that good, and that's fine with me, but I really love watching.
Sure.
And that wraps up week old news. That's really all there was to it. Not a crazy week. Obviously,
not a ton.
The week after the big E3 type stuff, you have to expect things to slow down a bit. But either way, that's all we've got. We're going to take ourselves another quick break, and when we come back, we're going to go through the 10, 20, 30, 40 for June 2024. You're listening to the Stone Age Gamer podcast from Geekade.com. Stick around. Hi everyone, Kris here. Podcast listening is free, but podcast creation is not. That's why the Geekade Patreon exists. In an effort to help us pay the bills, we've got a Patreon page set up where you can gain access to our monthly podcast topic schedule, get early access to many of our shows, and more. If you'd like to help support Geekade and keep these shows running week after week, head over to the Geekade Patreon page, linked in the show notes of this very podcast.
We are Safe at Home, the leading dog rescue in the heart of New Jersey. Are you searching for a loyal companion, a dog that will bring love and joy to your home? Look no further than Safe at Home. At Safe at Home, we believe in giving every dog a second chance. We rescue, rehabilitate, and find loving forever homes for dogs in need, right here in the Garden State. Our dogs are ready to make a lasting impact on your life. Each one has a unique story, a wagging tail, and an incredible capacity for love. When you adopt from Safe at Home, you're not just gaining a pet, you're becoming a part of our family. Our dedicated team ensures a seamless adoption process, providing ongoing support and guidance. With New Jersey's beautiful parks, beaches, and trails, you and your new furry friend will have endless opportunities for adventures and cherished memories. Safe at Home relies on the support of compassionate individuals like you. Your donations and volunteer work enable us to continue saving lives and finding forever homes for these amazing dogs. Join us in creating a safer, happier community for dogs in New Jersey. Together we can make a difference and give every dog the chance to feel safe at home. Visit our website or call us now to learn about how you can be a part of the Safe at Home mission. Safe at Home, because every dog deserves to be loved and protected. www.safeathomerescue.org.
Hey there, Stone Age Gamer fans. Are you also fans of Star Trek? Well, maybe you'd like to listen to yet another podcast, maybe yet another Star Trek podcast. You see, me and my friend Majid, every other week, we talk about the original series, we talk about Strange New Worlds, we talk about Star Trek. We have a third friend, Brad, who's sometimes here, but he hasn't been. I don't know why. So come on over and listen to our show, Yet Another Star Trek Podcast, at yetanothersTpod.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Vestlord is here, clicking and clanging away on the controller for the entertainment of the public. That's right, the premier cyber sports entertainer is back in league with the Electronic Coliseum, where all the cyber sports entertainment happens. The Vestlord is going on a winning spree of likes unknown to get a shot at the coveted Electronic Coliseum Championship. If you want to see if the Vestlord has what it takes, head on over to the show notes for where to find him, or search Vestlord on Twitch or YouTube. Become a fan of the ECC, back the best, cheer for the Vest. See you there.
Okay, everybody. We're back, and I'm not going to say better than ever because Dan and I, pretty tired. We're pretty tired, and it's not even that late for us. Like, usually we're rolling into the 10, 20, 30, 40 at, like, midnight, and we're just begging for death. But not this week.
And we're going.
We're going. We're actually kind of, sort of, maybe-ish on time, and we're just going to do this thing. So, it's time for the 10, 20, 30, 40, where we talk about notable game releases from decades past. We're going to talk starting with the 10 in June 2014. What came out? Was there? I have to assume there were no PS2 releases in 2014. Yeah, no. We're start with PS3. Yeah, PS2 is well done. Yeah, what am I talking about?
Yeah.
2014, PlayStation 3. What are we looking at here? There's a bunch of Drakengard related DLC. Something called Murdered Soul Suspect.
I remember that. I don't know why I remember that, but I do remember it.
Yeah, that doesn't sound familiar to me, but yeah, whatever. Let's see.
Yeah.
Sticking with June. More Drakengard DLC. MotoGP 13. Some Sniper Ghost Warrior collection. Transformers Rise of the Dark Spark.
That was pretty cool. Those Transformers games for a couple years were pretty fucking solid.
I will take your word for it. Then not a lot. Yeah, not a lot going on PS3. Not a lot worth noting. So let's move on to PS4, where surely things will be better with
surely.
Yeah, PS4 also has Murdered Soul Suspect, so good for you. There's Worms Battlegrounds. That's not bad. I like me some Worms.
That is a game.
1001 Spikes. That's a DLC. That's a digital game, but I've heard of that one. EA Sports UFC, Valiant Hearts, Resogun Heroes, Killzone Shadow cool. something. RBI Baseball 14. There's that Transformers game again, which has a 43 Metascore. And that wraps it up for June.
It's weird that they went with something as the subtitle to that Killzone game.
It is.
You would think they would come up with something a little better.
Well, what are you going to do?
What's this one? I don't know. Fucking Killzone something. I'm like, okay.
Killzone some shit.
Fuck, you were kidding. I sent it out that way.
Too late. It's on the box. All right, what's going on on the old Xbox 360? Looks like the Xbox 360 got Ultra Street Fighter 4 in June of 2014. Ooh. Call of Duty Ghosts. I do enjoy that game. Something. What is this? Call of Duty Ghosts Invasion? I don't know. Don't care. There's Murdered Soul Suspect again. Enemy Front. How to Train Your Dragon 2. Blood of the Werewolf.
I hate when my werewolf's bloody.
Flappy Monkey. Goodness gracious me. Seems like a lot of games. There's that Transformers
sometimes
one,
Sometimes when I wake up and I'm not quite ready, oh, it's a Flappy Monkey.
Ha! Yeah, that seems to be about all of note for the Xbox 360. What about the Xbox One? Super Ultra Dead Rising 3 Arcade Remix Hyper Edition EX Plus Alpha. Fucking bless you, Capcom. Bless you for poking that fun at yourself.
They get it.
1001 Spikes came out here too. UFC, EA Sports, Murdered Soul Suspect. Come on, there's got to be something big, like proper and big.
No, this is when, these are the couple of years where we were like, oh yeah, June does suck for video games.
Zombie Driver Ultimate Edition.
Dearth of entertainment.
Yeah. Well, okay.
This isn't going well.
Nope. This year has been real shit for this thing. All right, what about the Wii U? The Wii U's got 1001 Spikes, Chubbins, I've Got to Run, How to Train Your Dragon 2, How to Survive. Move to the next page. What do you got? What do you got for us here? In June. Oh, Pushmo World. That's good stuff.
That's something.
I like those Pushmo games. That Transformers game only has a 38 here on Wii U. That's awesome.
That's not what you want.
Yeah, there's a handful of little DLC looking things, but a Kamen Rider game. Oh, Shovel Knight. There you go.
I mean,
friggin' Shovel Knight.
That's pretty big.
That's huge.
I think that's going to be our big winner.
I forgot it was going over its 10-year anniversary. So yeah, there it is. The Wii U version of Shovel Knight is here.
Was that the first version of Shovel Knight that came out? Was Wii U first?
I
and then it was everybody else?
But I'm not positive. Let's see.
I think so. I don't remember talking about it in the last couple of months we've done this.
Well, it definitely didn't come out on other platforms before Wii U. I kind of thought it came out at the same time, but let's see. Shovel Knight. Wii U was June 26, 2014. PC was the same date. Yeah, PS3, PS4, and Vita was April 2015. Xbox One was April 2015. And Switch was 2017. So yeah, it was Wii U first. 3DS and Wii U.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. All right, so there you go. That's a big game. Shovel Knight. Huzzah. Let's see about the original Wii. Had DreamWorks How to Train Your Dragon 2. It's not nothing.
It's not nothing, but it might as well be.
Might as well be. Let's see. What about June on the original DS? How did June on the original DS go? Fashion Tycoon 2010. Oh yeah, we're talking. Nope.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Handful of weird little things like Anne's Doll Studio, but other than that, nope.
I was a big fan of Barb's Doll Studio. I didn't like Anne's as much. Barb's was good though.
Oh, Karen just texted that there was a spricket in the laundry room that I didn't want to deal with, so I didn't. Good plan.
Fair enough.
Fucking sprickets. Hateful little creatures. Anyway, how's the PSP looking this month, huh? How's the old PSP? We got some anime nonsense. End of Serenity, Black Code, and Mato Ann. Yep. Okay. Anime nonsense on PSP. What about the Vita? Come on, Vita. Gimme. Jimmy Woods. Oh, I didn't boot up 3DS. Where'd the 3DS one go? I missed 3DS. We hit regular DS, but I missed 3DS. So let's see. What did we miss on 3DS? March, April, May, June. All right, let's see. 3DS. June saw that 1001 Spikes game. Card Fight Vanguard Lock on Victory. Oh, Tamagotchi Life. That game even got remade on the Switch. I remember that one. I couldn't get into that game. How to Train Your Dragon 2. I don't see Shovel Knight listed here, but it's listed on their official site. And that seems to be about it for 3DS, right? A bunch of DLC nonsense, nothing. Yeah, it doesn't seem like there were any other big releases beside their Shovel Knight. But yeah, it seems to be that seems to be our big winner so far this month. Ain't crap going on PS Vita, 1001 Spikes, and a bunch of anime nonsense. Misunks, Magical Beat, meh, whatever. How about the Ouya?
None of this matters.
This don't matter. None of this matters. June 2014 on the Ouya, we got Ravensword Shadowlands and VVVVVV. I love that game.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a great game.
VVVVV and Shovel Knight in 1 month for. I mean, it's on the Ouya, so I'm like, let's not get too excited, but
yeah,
it's not
really
bad.
Moving the needle. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, that's. I mean, maybe not bad, but also not great. That was not a wonderful period of time there. Let's see how the 20 does. 10 not so great. How about 20? How's about the 20? Let's look for PlayStation 1, which I believe had one release, World Tennis Stars. June 2004, still cranking out the PlayStation 1 games. Way to go, guys. PlayStation 2, however, in June, we saw Oh god, there's so many PlayStation 2 games. It's so crazy. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Malice. Freaking Malice. Remember Malice? That was a game that was going to be voiced by Gwen Stefani. It was going to be like the game on Xbox, and then it got moved to PS2, and Gwen Stefani's voice wasn't in it, and it was just kind of a crappy game about a girl with a hammer.
Yeah.
Love it.
Not Harley Quinn.
Yep. Knights of the Temple, Infernal Crusade, Smash Court Tennis. Seen a lot of Japan-only things. Psyops. Psyops is pretty cool.
Psyops is really cool.
Oh, Pool
It's a really
Paradise.
cool game, actually.
Pool Paradise is great because, like, when we worked at Game Crazy, you had to put the price sticker in the upper right-hand corner, and it always perfectly covered the L, so this game was called Poo Paradise. That's what I'm here for. Front Mission 4.
Front Mission 4 is really good, too.
This is
actually, I mean,
Splinter Cell.
Those two games, Psyops and Front Mission 4, like, that's pretty fucking solid. Psyops is one of those games, man. Really should come back to that. There's a lot of really cool shit in that game.
That was a very neat game. But no, there's actually a bunch more good stuff on. I don't know what good's the right word, but like the original Splinter Cell made it to PS2 this month. Driver 3, MTV Music Generator, the Mega Man Anniversary Collection, Showdown Legends of Wrestling, MLB Slugfest Reloaded. I think that's about it.
That Mega Man collection is great.
Oh god, it really is. It really is.
Our Mega Man Anniversary collection is great.
Oh, yeah. Spider-Man 2. Jesus, Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2 was... What a fucking massive game that was.
Yeah.
And nobody, I don't think, actually ever played the game. I think everybody just swung around because it was so fun.
Who wants to beat it? You're just gonna swing around and have a good time.
Gonna rescue a balloon every now and again.
All right, PS2. That was great. Good job, PlayStation 2.
It seems like every month it's like, oh, PS2 killed it.
Yeah. Original Xbox off to a good start here. The Chronicles of Riddick. People loved that game.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was a really cool game. There's that shitty Malice game again. Harry Potter and the whatever the hell. There's Psyops again. Shadow Ops. Shadow Ops Red Mercury. I've heard of that one. Power Drome. Driver 3. Showdown Legends of Wrestling. Music Generation. IndyCar Series 2005, Slugfest Loaded, Spider-Man 2. Yeah, that was it. It's again a solid
That's
month.
the reason Tiff bought an Xbox for Spider-Man 2. And she does not play video games very often. She watches video games all the time. Playing them, not so much. But she was like, this is so goddamn fun. I'm getting one. And Xbox happened to be cheaper at the time.
But then we have the GameCube, which is also having a killer month. GameCube's got Legend of Zelda 4 Swords Adventures, fucking Ribbit King, Rainbow Six 3, the Mega Man collection.
The ways that I love Ribbit King.
I wish I had a copy of that game. I'm so sad I never bought it. I adore 4 Swords Adventures. That game is so good. I really want to arrange a 4 Swords online stuff with some listeners sometime.
Yeah.
That would be a lot of fun. But GameCube also got Spider-Man 2, got Poo Paradise, the Mega Man collection that was not great on there. And that is
because they moved the buttons around.
Yeah. But that's it. But even though that's it, that's still pretty decent, especially by GameCube standards.
That's still pretty fucking good.
I think PlayStation 2 obviously had the biggest month out of all these, but at the same time, this is good all around. Then the Game Boy Advance also having a very good month. Game Boy Advance had the NES Classic, the Famicom Classics, so Excite Bike, Pac-Man, Bomberman, Xevious,
those were cool.
Ice Climber, the first Legend of Zelda, Donkey Kong, Super Mario Brothers were all on June 2nd. We had the Crash Bandicoot Spyro the Dragon crossover Game Boy Advance games. Spyro Orange and Crash Purple, which is freaking strange.
It's a neat
Sonic
idea
Advance.
that just did not work.
Yeah, agreed. Don't hate the concept, but yeah, it didn't work. We got the third Sonic Advance game that was very good. The original Shining Force showed up on Game Boy Advance.
That's not bad.
Saber Wolf. Jeez, it just keeps going. Thunder Alley, Pokemon. Jeez, Game Boy videos. Oh, Mario Golf was in June too. Dragon Ball Z. Which one is this one? Supersonic Warriors. I think that's one of the worst games ever made, if I remember correctly. I might be remembering poorly though. A bunch of Game Boy Advance video. God, remember Game Boy Advance video? I gotta pay $20 to buy this cartridge and watch this show on the screen the size of a postage stamp.
It was an idea.
It certainly was. Spider-Man 2 hit Game Boy Advance as well, and that about wraps it up. Which just leaves us with the Nokia N-Gage for June 2004, 2 releases, Tiger Woods 2004, and Crash Nitro Kart. So look, N-Gage aside, really, this was a solid month for that generation. 20 years ago, there was some good shit coming. No matter what platform you had, there was good stuff coming your way. So that's great.
Tiger Woods, y'all.
You'd love to see it. Let's see, that was 2004. So I guess we got to go back to 1994. This one, I don't have everything pulled up yet, so we're just going to do this one live. We're just going to jump right in here. Let's see. NES. What does NES have cooking in 1993, I guess? Or 1983? That doesn't sound right. Let's see. September, October, November, December. December 1994 is what we're looking for. Oh, geez, I'm way off.
There you go.
I'm Samsonite. I was way off. 92, 93, 94. There we go. All right. I feel like there was something in June of 94. February, March. June 94, Mario's Time Machine.
Woohoo!
10 out of 10 for NES. I really like the Super Nintendo soundtrack for Mario's Time Machine. Not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I don't.
That's about it, though.
That's about it, yeah. All right, North America, we're going for June 1994 for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. What have we got here? 1994, March, April, May, June 94. Here we go. We've got Animaniacs, Breakthrough, Capcom Soccer Shootout, Final Fight Guy, Hardball 3, Hyper V-Ball, Jeopardy Deluxe Edition, The Jetsons, Invasion of the the Planet Pirates, King of the Monsters 2, Natsume Championship Wrestling, Operation Europe, Ren and Stimpy Show Fire Dogs, Saturday Night Slam Masters, yes.
Ooh,
Tommy Moe's Winter Extreme, that game is really interesting. Oh my god, The Twisted Tales of Spike McFang, I friggin' love that game. Ultimate Fighter, World Cup Soccer 94, Sensible Soccer, Barkley's Shut Up and Jam.
It's the way I like my soccer.
And Three Ninjas Kickback. Well, certainly there's a lot of games. Not a ton of great ones, but Twisted Tales of Spike McFang is legitimately great. Saturday Night Slam Masters is an all-time classic. Tommy Moe's Winter Extreme does a lot of really interesting stuff with Mode 7, including adding altitude to the terrains. I still don't really understand how they did it, but usually you think of Mode 7 games and they're flat, but this one had hills in it while using Mode 7. It was a very impressive looking game. I don't know that it's actually fun.
I don't know that I've ever seen that game. Yeah.
This was it was featured in a lot of those old Play It Loud commercials.
Okay.
Where they had here's a bunch of teenagers doing rad stuff. They would
playing
show,
it loud.
Playing it loud. So this would show up in those ad campaigns because it was a visual showcase. This was nothing on Genesis looked like this. So that was pretty cool. that's a solid month right there. King of the Monsters 2 worked out great. Those King of the Monsters games worked great on Super Nintendo. Final Fight Guy is one of those releases that's just so intensely bizarre. Like,
it really is.
What the hell?
It's a very odd little game.
Like, so we're going to do Final Fight on Super Nintendo. We can't do 2 players at the same time. And we also can't figure out how to get 3 players rocking on the cartridge. So we're going to cut Guy, but we're also like a year later going to release a version of Final Fight that doesn't have Cody in it.
Just Guy.
What are you doing? This is so weird. I have it too. I have a legit copy of Final Fight Guy. It's one of my I love that I own that completely insane game. But what the hell? That's such a strange release. Let's see how did the Sega Genesis compete with that? Because that was a pretty good month for Super Nintendo. Not like
that's not bad at all.
Spike McFang is such a good game. That game is I love that game. June 94. All right, what do we got on Genesis? Also, Three Ninjas Kickback, Asterisk and the Great Rescue, Bill Walsh College Football 95. Champions World Class Soccer, Combat Cars, Hardball 94, Instruments of Chaos starring young Indiana Jones, Jeopardy Deluxe Edition, Mickey's Ultimate Challenge, Pele 2 World Tournament Soccer, I don't think that came out in North America, Star Trek The Next Generation, Echoes from the Past, World Cup USA 94, Top Gear 2, I forgot that came out on Genesis. Oh shit, Mega Turrican. Damn, Mega Turrican's great. Outrunners, NBA Showdown 94, Clay Fighter got ported, and that's it. Yeah, I mean, look, Mega Turrican's great, but Super Nintendo owns that month. Between Spike McFang and, Saturday Night Slam Masters, sorry. Super Nintendo versus Genesis.
Three Ninjas Kickback.
Three Ninjas Kickback. Well, that was on both platforms. I'm sure the Super Nintendo version
I know, but I'm
split.
sure it's better on Super Nintendo as well.
Without a doubt.
Just for the music alone. I mean, the soundtrack to Three Ninjas Kickback. All-time fucking classic.
When I think of Three Ninjas Kickback, and I will think of it, that's what I'll think
I'm thinking of it right now. That's banger
so
after
hard.
Banger. Gross.
I don't see anything Sega CD this month. I'm not sure about Turbo CD. I'm going to say probably not, but let's see. Release dates North America. What do you got?
It's a pretty safe bet.
Yeah. We're in 94. Yeah, we go from April to August 94. August is the next time we'll have something on Turbo CD. Neo Geo. This is AES 94. What do you got for us? 96, 95, 94. June 1994, we have 2 games. We have World Heroes 2 Jet and Top Hunter, Roddy and Kathy.
Couldn't tell you shit about Top Hunter.
World Heroes
really
2
like
Jet's
the World Heroes
cool.
games, though.
Yeah.
I like those games quite a bit.
Yeah, those are pretty nice. Those are pretty neat.
Always have. But always played it on the Super Nintendo.
Right, because who had a Neo Geo?
Yeah. And if I was in the arcade, like, I wasn't playing World Heroes. I was playing, you know,
Mortal Kombat.
Fatal Fury or Samurai Showdown or Mortal Kombat or whatever. But I always really liked World Heroes.
Let's see. This is the 3DO. The 3DO's got a list of June games. We've got The Lost Files of Sherlock Holmes, Putt Putt's Fun Pack, Who Shot Johnny Rock, Dragon's Lair, Shockwave, and that's it.
Well, all right.
Shockwave also came out on PlayStation as... No, it's also Shockwave Assault. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, I got nothing for those. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, 3DO. Not much to say here. Game Boy. Game Boy probably did pretty well. Game Boy always does well. What are we looking at? 94. June 94, we've got Road Rash, Stop That Roach. What? Oh, shit. Donkey Kong. That's 10 out of 10 game right there. That Donkey Kong 94 is one of the best games on the Game Boy. It's one of the best games of its generation. I friggin' love that game to death. That's a big one.
Really good.
All right. That's a solid month on the old Game Boy as well. Really just from that one game.
Speaking of, you didn't mention it earlier. It's not a Donkey Kong, but did you play the Burger Time, the Chili's Burger Time thing?
No, Chili's Burger Time? What are we talking about?
I don't know. I put it in the SAG chat on the Discord. Chili's, the restaurant chain, is doing like a cross-promotional thing. Or not a cross-promotional thing, just a promotional thing where you can, like, if you get the high score or whatever, you get, like, free Chili's for life or some bullshit. I don't know, they're promoting some new smash burger thing. It doesn't fucking matter. It's a relatively fun version of Burger Time. It's just Chili's themed.
Cool.
But it's got some, like, anime nonsense cutscenes in it. Like, in between, because there's a boss in each level. It's pretty fucking fun.
I'll check that out. Sounds fun.
Yeah. It's a good time.
That just leaves June 94 for the Game Gear, which just had Pack Attack. Which, Pack Attack's neat, but it's no Donkey Kong 94, so...
No.
Well, that wasn't bad. Right? That was okay.
No, it's alright.
Decent month. Spike McFang, Slam Masters, Donkey Kong. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, let's wrap this up. Let's head back to 1984. See what was new and exciting in the world of 1984 in video games. These are going to take me a little bit longer to track down. Let's see. 1983. 1984 for the Atari 2600 video computer system. January, March. Spring, April, May, June. June for 2600, we're looking at Gyrus, Rock and Rope, Stargate, and Video Life. I don't know any of those games. I mean, I know Gyrus, but not the 2600 version. Huh. Okay.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Yeah, I got nothing on that either. What about Intellivision? What about the old Mattel Intelligent Television? 1984. June 1984. Got Mind Strike and World Series of Major League Baseball.
Okay. I don't know those either.
Yeah, I don't know those. I don't know Intellivision all that well. Doesn't seem
out of my
like
element,
it's a
Donnie.
lot. Yeah. Doesn't seem like it's a lot. How about the 5200? Because when I think about platforms that have tons of great games on them, the Atari 5200 does not come to mind.
It's not one of the ones that I think of often.
Just definitely not. Gyrus, Keystone Capers, and Star Wars the arcade game. Okay.
Yeah, those are games.
Star Wars the arcade game is awesome, but the actual arcade game is. The home ports never really got me, especially before they were able to do anything that even remotely resembles vector graphics. What about ColecoVision? Is that what I'm looking at? Yeah, ColecoVision. So let's go to 94. Sorry, 84, not 94.
Yeah, there's definitely no Coleco games in 94.
Agreed. Let's see. What year is this? All right, there's 84. June. Bump and Jump, Fathom, Dragonfire, Sydney's Evolution. That was a Canada exclusive. Gyrus, Keystone Capers, Rock and Rope, Star Wars arcade game, and Super Action Football. Damn.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. That's not bad. That's a pretty solid showing for ColecoVision. Pretty solid showing indeed. And that just leaves Vectrex and Game & Watch, right? I don't think there is anything for both of those categories. 84, I just have winter written down for Vectrex. And I guess that leaves Game & Watch. I don't think there was anything specifically June of 84 in the Game & Watch department. I'm not seeing anything. So we're going to leave it at that. There was
Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight was great.
Yeah, Shovel
PS2
Knight.
PS2 was great.
Donkey Kong 94 was great. Super
Donkey
Nintendo
Kong 94
did great that one year.
It was really just 10 years ago that was shit.
Yeah. The rest of them were all pretty solid. But 10 years ago was, big thumbs down.
Yeah. Doo-doo.
All right. Well, that is going to do it for this month's 10, 20, 30, 40. And that is going to do it for our show. Join us next time for the overdue return of the SAG Cartoon Express. Yay! Dean cannot wait to talk about the adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3. I'm sure of it. We're on most social media platforms, and if you want to get in touch with us, we aren't very difficult to find. All it takes is a quick look at our show notes, and you'll see links to our social media accounts, as well as all manner of other fun stuff like a link to our namesake, StoneAgeGamer.com, and more useful links than you can shake a joystick at. If you'd like to get early access to this show's episodes, as well as a bevy of other shows on the Geekade Podcast Network, check out our Patreon, also linked to in the show notes. It helps keep the show running week after week, and all our patrons are loved and appreciated. This show's theme song, Squared Roots, was written by banjo guy Ollie. You can check out all his wonderful music and more by following the link to his YouTube channel, also in the show notes. And finally, as always, we'd like to thank our intrepid editor, Evan, for making the show listenable for all you folks. We'd like to thank all you folks for listening in the first place. That's it, everybody. On behalf of Dan and myself, keep playing games.